Smooth right there. Entirely AI and cameras. Just like our brain works, which is neural nets and eyes. Yep, I just slow down for a speed bump, which is cool. I just slow down for another speed bump. And we did not program in. There's no line of code that says slow down for speed bumps. So it is doing this based entirely on video training.
Yeah, I went around the bicyclist.
Yeah, and there's a bicyclist. Again, there is no line of code that says give clearance to bicyclists. It is just doing what people do. It can read science without ever being taught to read. Once again, there is no line of code that says stop at a stop sign or wait for another car.
Who came first or whatever.
Or who came. There's not like wait X number of seconds. Nothing like that. Nothing. This is old nets, baby. Nothing but nets.
Yeah.
And when we get to our destination, we'll change the pin. And it's like drop it somewhere else random. Maybe we'll run into Zuckerberg and we can challenge him to a fight. That'd be fun. Spice it up. He's not traveling somewhere to his backyard. So here we are at a roundabout. So roundabouts are obviously pretty complicated.
It's needed for those two cars.
Yep, it just waited for those two cars to go and then did the turn. Again, I'm being somewhat repetitive about this, but we have never programmed in the concept of a roundabout. We just showed a whole bunch of videos of roundabouts. So a
big fleet helps.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a lot of training data, a lot of video training data in order to make this work. So you need really billions of dollars of training hardware, and you need to know how to run the neural net training hardware. So it's not like easy, but the mind-blowing thing is that there's no heuristics. There's no like lines of code. Like there's a guy on a scooter. It doesn't know what a scooter is. It doesn't know what paddles are. It's literally just been given a lot of video. So, and it's doing all of this on hardware 3 with about 100 watts of inference compute. So it's not like, obviously, it's not some like massive data center. And if we were offline, there would be no difference. This is locally. All the inference that's happening is local. It does not need an internet connection. And obviously that's necessary because if you lost your cellular internet connection, the car needs to drive safely. But we could be somewhere where there is no internet connection, and it's never seen the roads before. It doesn't matter.
Runs at 36 FPS.
Oh yeah, we're running at the full frame rate, so it's taking 8 cameras at 36 frames per second. Um, yeah, the pure AI version runs faster than the version that is a mixture of normal software and AI. In fact, it would run it faster than 36 frames per second, except the cameras are currently only capable of 36 FPS. Our current, back of the envelope frame number is we think it could probably run at 50 frames a second, and yeah. So, but the reality of the roads are basically designed around 24 frames a second. Basically, it's similar to we got to the end, got to our destination, so I'll just pick a new destination here. There's like some sort of random place here. Yeah, wherever somewhere. I'm like, hello assassins, if you want to get me, now is your chance. You just need to be in Palo Alto. Like this, the assassin count is low in Palo Alto. So we're just Ashok just dropped a sort of random pin. We don't know where we're going really. Just somewhere in Palo Alto. But it's just also worth noting, and Ashok, you may want to actually sort of provide some commentary as well. But we've got test drive, FSD 12 test drivers around the world. So we've got people in, I think, like New Zealand and like Thailand and Norway, Japan,
everywhere. Because it should generalize. The concept of driving is general. You don't need to like just do it in the US. You could do it everywhere simultaneously.
Right. Exactly. Just like a human can go travel to a country they've never been to before and rent a car and drive around and be, maybe not quite as good as someone local, but you can still rent a car in a foreign country and drive around. And we just have like some students over there that one of them stumbled briefly into the road and the car drove around them. A lovely day in California, the beautiful Stanford campus. Playing a little Four Seasons. We'll change the...
Pretty soon we'll add also like, instructions following, so you could like say lane change to the leftmost lane, or pull over here or something like that, and the car should even respect those kinds of commands.
Yeah, exactly. So so here we're at a roundabout. The car is I've never been to this roundabout before, and the car is not specifically trained on this roundabout.
Yeah, and then once it's our turn, and it just proceeds.
Yeah,
fills.
Exactly. So it waited for the correct amount of time, drove smoothly around the roundabout. Again, I will be somewhat repetitive, but there is no line of code that says this is a roundabout. There is nothing that says wait, X number of seconds, which is what we have in the explicit control stack. That's the sort of version 11. There's over 300,000 lines of C++ in the explicit control stack of version 11, and there's basically none of that in version 12.
Yeah, just because there's no lines of code doesn't mean that it's not controllable. It's still like quite controllable on what you want by just adding data. Now you have to program with data instead of programming with code.
Yeah, data curation.
Yeah.
And then whenever we find that there's something, say if the car doesn't perform perfectly, we give it more examples of what it should do in that situation, and updates the the weights, and then it works.
Yeah, and also we have labelers cleaning and making sure that all the data that goes in is like the good driving data, not like the bad drivers from the world. There are bad drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. The quality of the data is very important. So large amounts of mediocre data do not improve driving.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite actually.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So that's why the data curation is actually quite difficult. And I should say there is quite a bit of software around what data, so selecting what data to train the system with.
Yeah.
So
the software that runs in the car is minimal, but the software in the back end to train is like much larger and much more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. So we do use like normal software for C++ basically for and Python for deciding what data to select from the fleet.
Yep.
And then figuring out, well, what is the high quality data versus the pretty good data.
Yeah, and once we have a model, we also ship those models in shadow mode to the cars, and then every time it disagrees with what the user did,
yeah, exactly,
then you can get the data back, and then kind of that is more valuable than just collecting random data.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so we feel good about actually having a very rapid virtuous cycle where when there is an intervention in the fleet, that intervention automatically being uploaded to training, being integrated with training, and then updating really just the weights. So it's not the binary that's changing, it's the weights. Well, not the execution binary, it's just really for the weights. Yeah. So where are we headed here? And the drive has been butter smooth.
This voiceover Elon's giving is impressive.
Again, being somewhat repetitive. We're repetitive about being repetitive, in fact. But we have not programmed in the concept of traffic lights. So there's not like, oh, this is a red light, this is a green light, and this is the traffic light position. We have that in the normal stack, but we do not have that in V12. This is just video training. Like I said, nothing but neural nets. And yet it knows which light flies to it. And it stops at a red light, accelerates at a green light. Now, one of the sort of maybe slightly funny challenges we've had is that since the car is being trained on what humans do, humans almost never stop fully at a stop street. So when they get to a stop sign, humans actually almost never go to 0 miles an hour. They may think they did, but usually they're doing at least a few miles an hour at a stop, coming up to a stop street. Sometimes people go faster than that, but the regulators are they're really quite insistent that we go to come to a complete stop at stop signs. And when we looked at the data, only 5% of the time do humans actually stop fully.
Even lower than that.
Oh,
like
so
0.5%.
0.5%?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so basically, people almost never fully stop at stop signs. So we had to.
Even if you look at those data, it's like a lot of them come to a stop and they get on their phone or something. It's not just regular people doing the stops.
Yeah, and they might like semi-stop and then move a little bit and that kind of thing. So we had to poll the fleet for rare examples that less than 1% of the time when people actually come to a full stop, and artificially train the system to stop at stop signs at the insistence of the regulators. So. Like I said, this is a little slow because we're driving around in basically rush hour. Oh, intervention. Sorry. Okay, so that's our first intervention because the car should be going straight.
It started moving on the left turn arrow.
Regression in the traffic lights.
Okay.
Oversample the traffic lights. Yeah.
Okay. That's why we've not released it to the public yet. So an intervention at this traffic light. That's the first intervention in the whole drive. Okay.
Also note, he isn't getting nagged at all.
Shocking.
Yeah, I love Ashok. We can't hear you, Herbert. Are you trying to say something?
I think because he's the actual one streaming, so...
Yeah, so it just did a merge, traffic merge, super smooth.
We'll do all the color commentary, Jeff.
Yeah.
So for that intervention that we just had, the solution is essentially to feed the network a bunch more video of traffic lights. So that was a controlled left controlled left turn, where there was a green light for the left turn, but not a green light to go straight. And so we'll feed it a bunch of video of controlled left turns, and then it'll work.
Oh, was that our problem? There's a solution.
In the next 2 weeks, we're going to release a shadow mode release where we're going to run this network in the background and then check when, for example, in this case, we would have wanted to go, but then the driver would not have gone. So we can just check that, okay, and then we get the data back into the labelers, and the labelers say who was correct.
Yeah.
And that helps that we should not have gone. So you don't have to even get the intervention. You can just passively observe what we want to do, and this is what happened in reality.
Right.
Fascinating to have Ashok in the car, giving the better solution of an alternate. That's so wild.
So here we have another controlled left traffic intersection, although it's given both greens, so it's kind of an easy one. The smoothness of the control, the car, just how smoothly the car is behaving it's hard to convey, I think, on camera, but it's just super smooth. Yeah, you have to feel it, really. So now it's making a left turn. So it's gotten itself into the left turn lane. Again, we've never programmed in the notion of a turn lane or anything like that.
Or even a lane.
We doesn't even know what we've never. There's no line that says there's no line of code about traffic lanes at all.
So this is what I was highlighting about the 300,000 down to 3,000 lines of code.
It might know all these concepts and how we think about it, lanes and vehicles, things like those, but we've just not explicitly asked for it.
Yeah. Well, just like humans. Yeah, just, Alright, we've arrived at this random pin.
It might try to pull over, let's see if it does. Sometimes it does blow.
Yeah, so it kind of, so this is pretty cool. So the car just pulled over to the side of the road, and
And the passenger should get off.
and parked. So it knows at the end of its destination, based on the video that's received, that at the end of the destination, you pull over to the side and park.
Yeah,
and
it
so
also gets the exact pin location in addition to the navigation route. So,
Wow.
the pin is
That is so
close, it's a
cool.
good spot here. Puts over here, but in big parking lots where there might not be any map,
yeah,
it should just go as close to the pin as possible.
right, exactly.
Yeah, even without any route or anything like that.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact, in sort of robotaxi world, it would actually just, probably perhaps know what you look like and just literally look for you.
Yeah. If you have a picture or something, you can just
Yeah,
look for
exactly.
you.
It's like if you sign up and it's like, just say, you don't have to, but if you want the car to literally find you, you just have to send it a picture of you, and it will look for you and wait for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can also say, drop me off at the Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
It should drop you off at the building's entrance as close to Starbucks as possible, as opposed to somewhere random,
Yeah, exactly. So, well, I guess, let's see, I don't know, probably head back to HQ. Or hit Tesla entering HQ.
Do you want to do the flight or?
Where does he live? It's not somewhere
You want to do
around
the
here.
fight?
Yeah, should we just Google it? I mean, we can knock on the door and whatever.
Ashok is egging him
Google
on.
says.
Please say hi, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say hi. We'll be friendly. It's just a polite inquiry as to whether you would like to engage in hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah,
If it's
old school way.
just if not inconvenient, perhaps you would like to fight. Okay, so this is literally, we just Googled it. We don't know if this is where he actually lives or not, but we'll just go there.
Roughly.
So he's like, okay.
He just doxed him. He just totally doxed him.
What? So now we're we're at least going to where Google
Why is Alexandra trying to sell her kidneys while we're waiting for the stream?
says, Zuckerberg lives. I don't think this is really, it can't be really considered doxing if we just Googled it.
Yeah, he heard me.
So we'll see if it's the drive correctly. So doing a pretty good job of driving through the Palo Alto suburb.
All right, you got to say it's pretty buttery smooth, and not very many interventions at all.
Yeah.
Like, look, there's cars oncoming.
Everything is automatic.
Right. Oh, is it going to stop yet? Okay, good. Stopped at the red light.
Yeah, it was a
Wow, great
Yeah.
stop.
That's pretty much what a person would do.
Yeah.
Wow, quick light.
Some cyclists over there.
All right, Dan
Palo
O'Dowd is
Alto
shitting his
is
pants right now.
a lovely town. It feels like
We should invite him onto the
a Truman
stream.
It's best for families.
Show. Yeah. It's like everything's perfect.
Yeah.
He would just point out there's no nags.
Let's try and see the comments. Yeah, there's no lane drifting. it's super smooth in the lane. And it doesn't confuse a bike lane with a real lane or anything like that. Yeah, the ride is super comfortable. As I see messages popping up, I'll try to answer them. That was a lot of messages, actually. Wait, which way is the... It was like 600.
Hey, there he is.
Now it's gone into the...
Aw. I was hoping he'd show Ashok.
So here we are, headed to like Edgewood Drive. I don't even
Notice
know.
no camera nag or no issue with holding a smartphone for him.
Exactly. That's God mode right there.
Probably not, because it's like I would expect there to be like a lot of security and stuff.
Which is what we should probably have once V12
well, this
is.
We are at the spot that's roughly where. But I don't think it just doesn't seem probably where it is because probably because security and stuff. Yeah.
And that's
Anyway,
why I'm not selling calls, Jeff, because I'm worried that's coming.
But you know, it's sort of still nice driving around Palo Alto.
Look at how it handles that. Oncoming traffic,
Yeah, sure.
veer right, hang left. Ooh, he intervened. What was that?
I mean, Zuckerberg did say, like, name the date in bold letters or whatever on, you know, whatever platform he's on. And so I'm like, hey, right about right now. So just, you know, does now work? Alright, well, we can find him, so we are heading back to Tesla headquarters.
Are they watching their own stream? Where's the echo coming from?
Maybe it's like perhaps overly cautious about the pedestrians. Nice couple passing by. We won't film them because they
Jeff, is that
might be
you?
a little
We're
weird.
going to be approving.
Just walk past. So. Yep, of course.
Herbert, I hear myself when I talk.
Very polite with pedestrians. So stopped to wait for the couple to pass by, and now it's continuing to drive.
Testing, testing. Yeah, that's better, Jeff. It sounds like it was coming through your speakers.
So here we are in Palo Alto, driving on pure AI.
Pure AI, the man says. Pure AI.
Let's see, we're headed back to Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters at Palo Alto. How does it react to low visibility conditions was one of the questions.
Yeah,
like at night and stuff, I suppose, or rain and snow.
I think it works as we would expect it to. It like slows down rain and then drives at lower speed. And for occluded intersections, it kind of like crawls forward and then checks, you know, the vehicles coming. That's one of the areas that we're trying to, you know, improve even more than just doing it right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we definitely we need training from all around the world is that the weather in California is amazing, and it's you know, as the song goes, like basically never rains in California. It's like sunny and nice almost all the time.
And the drivers are pretty nice too. You know, like,
Yeah, right. To drive. This here are quite polite. So
we need some aggressive drivers and also pedestrians. Who
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Like we need situations where like there's a parade or a crowded situation or whatever. A lot of pedestrians for whatever reason.
Yeah, we want to be safe, but also confident and be competent. We don't want to be too skittish and like hit the brakes all the time.
Yeah.
It is like unnecessary.
Yeah, but it's winter basically in New Zealand, and so we have like the snowy conditions there that we can train in. There's a bicyclist. It's a little tight. It's okay.
Oh, he puckered. He puckered.
It's waiting for pedestrians.
Yeah, it is very conservative with bicyclists and pedestrians, generally. So.
They had to turn away almost to for us to continue.
Yeah.
It's interesting. This is like an unprotected turn for us.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a tricky one. So this is turning left onto Middlefield in Palo Alto where visibility is not great. So it's like
both sides.
The cars coming from both sides at pretty high speeds. But did it? Yeah, no problem. Great. So unprotected left onto a high-speed road, fairly high-speed road. No problem.
Buttery smooth, no problem.
Yeah, so V12 will be, I would say, actually smart summon, ASS.
Yeah. Internally, we also called it like revenge summon almost, because we want like someone to be like so much. Like the first summon was okay, but this summon is going to be like so good that like.
I call it actually smart summon.
Actually smart summon.
ASS.
ASS.
It's like, don't you want some ASS? Of course you do.
Speed up is quite nice too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the very, very intuitive, smooth speed up and acceleration in turns.
Yeah, even the set speed is just like set to some max value. Like
yeah, exactly. It's like currently set to 85, but it's ignoring the set speed. It's driving at what would be intuitively the right speed for people to drive at.
Yeah, you did a lane change to get into the faster lane.
Exactly. So there's 2 lanes here. There's a lot more cars in that lane, fewer cars in this lane, and it's going straight. So it picked the lane with the fewest cars.
That is amazing. Max speed 85 and it went 45 or whatever that was. That's beautiful. Human-like.
You should cut that clip out and reshare it where it's selected the lane with the fewer number of cars. Bless you, Herbert. Bless you, Ashok, and Tesla FSD team too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so hard to hear Ashok when he's speaking, and the stuff he's saying is just gold.
That's why I'm light on the commentary.
Can you be heavy on the commentary, please?
Well, Herbert's giving us a body shot here.
Ooh.
Even the vehicle following it, typically, the distance and the velocity and everything, acceleration, there's nothing here, and it's able to follow the vehicles.
Yep, exactly. There's no explicit distance that's programmed in for how close you should be behind a car. It's again just video training.
Yeah, It's intuitively.
Just intuitively.
These speeds, and this is kind of the right following speed.
Like what would humans generally do? And it picks like a reasonable follow distance and does that.
Yeah, the nice thing is, for bad weather conditions, for example, it will like automatically increase the speed.
Yep.
And if
Or decrease the speed.
Increase the distance.
Distance. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
This traffic light takes a while.
Oh, so this is the El Camino and Page Mill, a classic Silicon Valley intersection. I've seen this intersection for 30 years, basically.
These are headquarters is the HP. It used to be the HP
Yeah,
headquarters here.
yeah, exactly. The Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto are the former Hewlett Packard headquarters.
Yeah, so literally Silicon Valley like started here.
Yeah, exactly. It's an honor to be for our Global Engineering Headquarters to be the kind of where the birthplace of Silicon Valley was.
It's got to be historic, guys. This is his history. He's taking an AI, cars driving him to HP, the old headquarters for Hewlett Packard in Silicon Valley.
Passed by a Model 3. And one in front of him. How funny is that?
Well, it's Silicon Valley.
Well, thanks, earnings.
So, we'll see how it does in the parking lot. So, because parking lots are complicated, especially the Tesla parking lot, which is jam-packed. So probably pretty full even on a Friday night, a Friday evening. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock on a Friday.
Car's been driving for 40 minutes. He's had one intervention, which is at a stop sign, a stop light in the intersection.
This is a fairly tricky light. So you got two, controlled lefts and two straight, basically two turn lanes and two straight lanes.
Look at all those Teslas. Love it. Tesla. Tesla.
And it's sort of like merge after this turn, which is also interesting. Because it's like turn and merge.
I mean, they
Yeah,
sold
it's gonna-
65,000 cars.
Turn and merge
last quarter, so
simultaneously, which is
California.
Yeah. Cool.
This is a Model S with the hardware 3, guys. This is not even hardware 4.
I kind of wish it was a Cybertruck, though.
Yeah.
Now, one of the interesting things about sort of pure AI driving is that it actually doesn't need a map at all. So we could delete the navigation system, simply give it a GPS point and say, get to this GPS point somehow. We're not going to tell you how. You could say, like, you see that building in the distance? Go there. And it would do that even with no, it would just, it might make some, get to go down a road that's a dead end and then have to reverse out. But it would basically be able to do what a human can do. Where if you said, please go to, point at something and go there. So that's going into the parking lot. There is no explicit map of the parking lot, so now it is just trying to get to a GPS point.
I freaking love this.
Yes. That's amazing what he just said, eh? Doesn't even need a map.
Nope.
It's one
Never
huge
mind
difference.
LiDAR.
Yeah.
Never mind. Tesla.
Yeah.
I love it.
The headquarters, dude.
Yeah, but still.
Superchargers here.
Okay.
Don't you know baller on a budget?
Did he say that V12 is got smart summon and reverse smart summon in parking lots?
That's what it sounded like. Yeah, he said it's got ass, and you want the ass.
That's advanced smart summon.
Yeah, that's how it got to the point.
Exactly.
That's it.
This is awesome.
That was the FSD 12 beta drive. Super smooth. One intervention, which we'll fix with a bit more training data. Otherwise, really, I would say, like, you know, if this was a Uber driver, pretty much apart from that one intervention, 5-star.
Yep.
So, all right, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Wow, that was so good, guys.
What are your takeaways? Jeff, you're muted. Feedback.
That was pretty amazing.
What part stood out?
Well, I just like how so it wasn't just a normal drive. He was pointing out things that where it was thinking more like a human, like going in the lane with that had one car in front versus 3 or 4 cars in front, because that's what you would normally do as a human driver. You would try to select the lane that had fewer cars. So that was pretty impressive, and the fact that he's just kind of just dropping pins and it's figuring out, you know, where to go, you know, through GPS. You don't need maps, and so it's just gonna be interesting to see, like, how do you know when it's done? Like how do you solve that issue at the light? Is it just more training data? Well, how much more
training data?
That's an easy one. Come on, you know that's an easy one. This is V12 and it's teaching itself, so that one is going to be very easy. That was a left turn lane light that went turn green, and the car thought it was green for that lane. I think that's going to be an easy one.
Yeah. V11
this was
4.4 is doing that for me too. Yeah. So yeah,
this was a massive success for Elon. He just did a live stream, you know, turned it on. He said that he had picked pins around Palo Alto, and he took 2 or 3 of them, so that it wasn't pre-planned. The car drove itself beautifully. It wasn't very slow. It wasn't trying to, you know, like janky or anything like that. And it made one intervention, but otherwise he drove for 40 minutes, and it was so smooth. And it's so wonderful. And that's the thing about V12, right? It's like it's so much more smooth. And people need to understand what he said there, that V12 is very different from V11, because this is 100% he said 99% AI coded. And he doesn't even know. He said that the team doesn't even know how the car is thinking. It just does it. And it's also end to end, right? So he said that vision in, right to output out, which is the steering wheel and the gas pedal and the brakes. And the thing is figuring this out on its own.
Pedal. You can't use gas. Come on. You can't say gas.
Yeah, did I say gas pedal? Why don't we take some questions from the audience here? Who has any questions, type it in and we'll chat with you. But this is a fantastic win. I think this is historic, right, guys? This is like history we just witnessed.
Yeah, someone needs to edit that video up, edit up some of the comments from Elon, because there were like a handful of comments. First off, all the commentary was amazing from them both, but there were a couple of key comments around just, you know, this car was never, you know, there was no lines of code that explicitly say like this is how you deal with a roundabout. The fact that it selected the shorter lane of traffic, you know, things like that. I think someone should do a supercut of some of those amazing moments and package it up, because we know the mainstream media is not going to do that. And just get it out there, because it's historic. I agree.
But what do you think about the way he did the live stream, that it's on X? Does that bypass the mainstream media, or do we still want the mainstream media to communicate to the general public? Yeah, we do, right?
Well, yeah, I think you want both, but the fact that he in live stream this, I'm sure this is going to get millions of views. You know, you already had 30,000 people on a live stream. I mean, cable news, you know, only gets, you know, on a decent night, a couple 100,000, unless it's, you know, Fox News or whatever. So, I mean, this is, you know, historic, and a lot of people were watching that.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, having this level of access to a CEO who wants to showcase something that no one has access to, and display in real time what it's capable of is just incredible. And like realizing that there's no code that's explicitly guiding what you want it to do. Like since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by computers and how electronics work. And you have if then else is what you're taught as a new computer programmer. There is none of that. It's just data fed into a neural net, and it deduces what it wants to. And like he was saying, the distance from the vehicle in front of it, or how to accelerate, like none of this is in this new version of code. I just think that's completely incredible. From 300,000 lines of code to 3,000, this is a paradigm shift in what they've accomplished.
So here we go. So we've got some questions. I missed the first part. Did he say when it might be released? No, I don't. He did not say when V12 might be released. He did say that V12 is still in development. And then when it did that first intervention, he said we're still working it out. That's why it's not in public release. Somebody else asked, do you guys think we are approaching Tesla's ChatGPT moment? What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, no, I mean, we're certainly getting close. And that was another major step closer. And again, it's really I always thought, like, looking at this live stream, because there's been some pretty interesting live streams. Omar does them of like basically zero intervention drives. He edits them very well. They're very well done videos, stable camera and everything. But this is different. I mean, this isn't hundreds and thousands of lines of code. This is a few thousand lines of code, and the other 99% of it is all AI generated. So we had an AI driven car on the road going from point A to point B. Did not need an internet connection, by the way. Cruise and other vehicles do need an internet connection. If they don't have internet connection, they're basically going to stall. So this is all localized. It's running. He talked about how much power that was being consumed to run it. It was a very small amount of power. It's still running on the current computer that's in 4 million cars today. So it wasn't like there's this new set of hardware that it's unobtainium and only a few people have. It's running in the current computer that's in 4 million Teslas today. So this is exciting. This also tells me that it could be more expansive globally more quickly.
First of all, I was kind of scared, right? When he said, I'm going to do a live stream of FSD version 12. He announced it last night. He actually ended up doing it today, although he was a little late because he was at a meeting. But come on, this is pretty risky, very risky that he did this. Live stream means that you can't edit it. There's no, only show it if it's successful. And I'm pretty happy. Aren't you guys? I mean, this was a big success. It had the one intervention. What do you guys think? Is that one intervention a big deal, or, just happened?
Well, it's more of like, now that it's, this is AI driven, this is training data, that's going to be, it can be resolved very quickly. It's not like someone has to go in and figure out and code it and go test it. And I mean, they want to solve that. They want to go back to that intersection once it's updated and once the training data is updated, but then it'll be solved everywhere. And I think that's what's amazing here, is just the approach to the product development and how it's going to be solved via the AI. So yeah, it's a big deal. This is amazing. We're seeing, a first of something that, I mean, I was joking, like, Elon's live streaming Ashok's performance review, and that was very gutsy to do to do a live stream, right? That there was that unprotected left that was being done, and who knows, like, something could have been off, something, there could have been an issue. There's still, again, this software is in the QA. It's not even out to release to many employees, and that was a very gutsy move, and it shows you how much confidence they have.
Yeah, I think his his booty hole puckered that one time, and people were around the car, and I think said a bicyclist. But other than that, the training data for the green light that and the turn arrows, that's super easy. They'll just feed it more, and we saw a buttery smooth, navigation of any pin that they put in there, and they had fun. The commentary was wonderful. I thought it was a good showcase of where we are. For as a Tesla investor, it's very exciting to see. I've been very trepidatious about selling calls. I didn't sell any today. This week was very, very, very hairy. And this is what I'm worried about, is that the breakthrough is coming. And once the market realizes that Tesla has solved it, because this is the first time where when you hear that it's 99% AI, think about what he is saying. He's saying that the computer has taught itself how to drive.
Xander, somebody said you're covering your mic with your thumb.
Oh.
Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, dude.
Well, I'm wearing headphones. What's going on? Let me go to settings.
What do you guys think about when they talked about how less than, what he goes, at one point Elon said that less than 5% of humans will stop fully at a stop sign. And then Ashok said, actually, it's much worse than that. It's 0.05 or something.
0.05, yeah.
Yeah. But is that because they're trying to teach, or that they think that the computer, in order to be the better driver, it needs to drive like a human-like?
No, I think if a human, if the car drives differently, then you'll be a thumb sticking out, right? If everyone's going 80 and you're going 65, the posted speed limit, you're actually a danger to everyone else. So I think that's what he's saying, is that you got to drive like the humans do, not what the signs say.
And there was a couple times in that actual intersection where the car did very human-like maneuvers, moved in way ahead of time before it needed to, those kind of things. So, oh my God, I'm just excited. I think that was a very successful live stream. I think it's moments like this that I hopefully goes beyond just the Twitter community, the X community. And do you think that MSM is going to, talk about it at all? Is anybody going to say it? Is CNBC, Jeff, are they going to talk about this? Is there going to be a write-up somewhere?
Somebody should definitely pick it up and do a write-up. I mean, it's a major event. Obviously, he's got 155 million followers, and many of them are journalists. So they're definitely seeing this. It's definitely an amazing event. And there's some major lines in there in terms of, this is AI driving the car. This is, it's making decisions about which lane has fewer cars in it. It's making, human-like decisions. It's doing the all difficult, unprotected left turns. I mean, show me another car on the road today that's not pre-mapped, that's not in this controlled, confined area, that's actually doing all those things. So basically, you could put a Tesla on an airplane, drop it in any location, and say, take me to there, and it's going to drive you there. I think that's the amazing piece of all this. Is it's more of the how and what it can do and what it's capable of doing, and the fact that it's all self-healing. Like if there's a problem, it's going to get picked up in training data. It's going to get fixed everywhere. It's not like, oh, we had this problem in Austin, we have to compare that HD map to the one in San Francisco, and then we release it there. It's got to be released there. Again, and there's no internet connection needed. I mean, these are all the things that were very carefully thought about in the design of this system. Low power, low cost, don't need an internet connection. You can tell that this was a multi-year end game that they've had in the works.
Yeah. With Elon being the one doing the live stream though, right? It's going to be picked up. People are going to talk about, was it actually Elon driving the car? I mean, like behind the scene.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Elon driving the car. It was the car driving Elon.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Okay, that's not what I meant. But yes, not Ashok, right?
No, Ashok was in the passenger seat.
So people were asking who's that second voice, and that's you said Ashok Elluswamy. He's the director of AI. He's in charge of all this at this point. So it does make sense that it's him back there. And he did his amazing video, a presentation about 2 months ago at the CVRP in June. And he explained that they've basically taken all the new advancements and let the AI write this new version 12, and that it's teaching itself. Like he gave examples where the AI taught itself that it can drive through fog, that it can drive through paper flying. It taught itself how to recognize 3 dimensions. And so no human needed to tell it, code it or anything like that. It's just teaching itself. And that's why it makes this version 12 very, very different.
Yeah, something from that video that I was arguing with, a best friend from childhood, who's a huge Elon hater, Oleg calling you out, and he references how the car is able to pick up cross traffic before, so it can do like path prediction, and it's able to see that this car may enter my lane, and which lane it will end in. I need to predict and react to it. And my friend was trying to say that other brands and other companies have this already. There's nothing new, there's nothing proprietary. And I was trying to explain to him how, that it's doing path prediction using only its cameras, and radar has nothing to do with this, because radar picks up what's in front of you, not what is on the side of you, which is what one of the cameras sees. And not until there's forward motion can the car understand that you can have an incident here. So I love that video. I actually showed it to my dad while I was in California, and we got to chat about it. It's a really good, worth a watch if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, Ashok explained and confirmed that all other cars makers out there, they can only do the front and back. So that if the car in front of you stops quickly, it can know the automatic braking system. And Tesla's the first to be able to do cross traffic. It recognizes when a car might go in front of you and stop. And he showed an example of that. So that's only Tesla can do that.
Precisely. Exactly.
Any other questions from the...
Yeah, I mean, it's true that Ryan was saying that it's hard to hear the passenger, which was Ashok Elluswamy, because it was so hard. You couldn't hear him. So you're right.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I agreed. I was hoping to hear more of it. But great questions came from an Omar space right before, and Elon joined in. If you guys didn't know, it was recorded, so I'm looking forward to going back. Omar peppered him with questions, and they were wonderful questions, and I think we got a lot of insight from there as well. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So just to clarify for folks who are tuning in, what happened is Elon joined us on a Twitter space, an X space, and he said that I'm going to do a live stream, and he actually did it, and he was driving a Model S with just hardware 3. This isn't even hardware 4. He did explain in the space that hardware 4, because it's so much better visual capabilities, that they have not yet been able to train the FSD into that new, because it's different photons. He said different photons are coming and it needs to learn that. So that's not ready yet. But hardware 3, he drove a Model S. He went to Palo Alto. He turned on the live stream, and he just said randomly, I'm going to pick pins in Palo Alto so that nobody can accuse us that we're driving the car with predetermined paths only. And then he did looked up Google where Mark Zuckerberg lived, and he said, I'm going to drive there. But I think it was all tongue in cheek. Obviously, when he got there, it didn't look like that it was a Zuckerberg house. But the car did amazing. So he drove for 40 minutes. He had one intervention, and the only intervention was when he got to a four-way intersection. It was a red lights, and then when the green light for the left turn turned on, the car thought it was green for it, and it started to drive forward. So nothing fancy, nothing scary. They intervened. And that was the only intervention. And if you see the actual drive, it was very boring, but it was very smooth, and it drove fast. It wasn't slow to start. It was very, if you watch this drive, you would think that a human was driving. You would think that Elon himself was driving the car. And it was a huge success. I think this was a fantastic showcase of what version 12 can do. He did not give any statements of when V12 will be out yet. He was not driving the Cybertruck. And he did say that version 12, which is what this car had the ability to do smart summon and reverse smart summon in a parking lot. And so when it arrived at the Tesla parking spot, parking lot, it performed very well. It was able to drive in and do well.
It's amazing. And here's what's not amazing is the joke I'm about to do. So there's one intervention on the drive.
Yeah.
He Googled Zuckerberg's address, which obviously wasn't the right one, but if that was his address and he was home, there could have been a second intervention.
Oh,
gosh, horrible. This is why you tuned in, folks, for this.
Yeah. The interventions
are amazing. I'll go back to my day job. Sorry.
I just can't believe he did this. The guts it takes for somebody. I mean, the CEO of a large corporation. I know we've talked about it. He sometimes doesn't care so much about us shareholders. Not that he doesn't care. It's more like, he'll do something like this, which I don't know any other CEO would ever do this, right? It's like, this is risky, very high risk.
Well, I mean, it speaks to the confidence that they have in really the core design of like what this is and how it can and should work. And it looks like it is working. So, I mean, that to me really speaks to their confidence in the solution they have.
Yeah, Herbert, I think there's a trust that goes into being a shareholder, especially with Elon. And I know that he wouldn't. That is funny. Yeah. He wouldn't put.
Mary has
put it out.
Altium balls.
No,
Sorry.
Mary has a golden parachute, is what she's got.
Cut that. We're gonna cut that out.
So I think that bucket. Yeah, he would not do anything to jeopardize. They've tested this. They know where it was at. If anything, having that one intervention is actually good. It shows that there's work to be done, but it's close. It's close.
So it's very likely, right, that it was overfit for Palo Alto, correct? Because it was very close to the Tesla headquarters.
No.
I'm sure that they drive Palo Alto all the time, and it's better at Palo Alto than if you take it to Chicago's Midwest where Jeff lives, right?
Well, he said it. He said it that that they need data from snowy conditions and rainy conditions and all of those for the AI to be able to learn, and they have that, maybe not at the same volume. So I think you are correct, but at the same time, a roundabout is a roundabout, no matter where it is. A bicyclist coming in your way or whatever it is. I think it's not that dire, but for those corner cases, for the edge cases, you do want that type of data or more of it.
So Jeff and Xander, you guys are actually perfect people to ask this question. Helpful Hints asks, what do you all think the market will do with this on Monday? Could it get up to 320 quickly? I doubt it, but what do you guys think? You guys are kind of more in tune.
No. He says up $20, not up to 320.
I can't see with my glasses.
Don't go putting words in his mouth.
Sorry,
go ahead, Jeff. You go first. I got my answer ready.
Well, the market doesn't seem to be reacting heavily to full self-driving. It's not like it's actually not in many. I always joke about the analyst spreadsheets. Like if it doesn't fit in my spreadsheet, then I don't want to hear about it. So the analysts are literally counting the pennies in the change in pricing of 4% of the cars in China getting an MSRP change. That's where they're focused on. They're not really modeling this in. Most of them are not. Some of them are talking about it, but most of them aren't really thinking about this in terms of what it can go to. First, it's going to go to just people know that the car will just drive themselves whenever they need it. But the end game is really that every car is autonomous, and this replaces the human driver, where there are people that are paid to drive today, and it changes the whole transportation industry. And I don't think that's being priced in. So I think obviously this was an amazing exhibition. But I think what Tesla's going to want to do is get this through QA, get this out into some drivers' hands, and then really like have an AI day and really like take this whole video clip of what's happening and take it to a whole new level and explain like what's happening, and also really explain the global expansion that's now going to be capable as a result. It's not a coincidence that we're seeing these FSD drivers and people being hired in China and in Europe, and all these advancements we're seeing online. So to me, this development in Palo Alto leads me to believe that this is going to be more globally scalable than we ever even thought before. So, I mean, I didn't answer the question. I don't think the market's going to react overly in one direction or another on Monday. I'd love to be wrong. And, I'm a long-term shareholder and I hope it does well. But until the analyst community, until the people that, talk openly about the stock really start talking about Tesla in the AI conversation, it'll take a bit of time, but it's coming.
But when you see Elon doing live streams of this, and if he continues to do this, then that's how you get them to talk about it. When Elon is on these earnings calls and he starts talking about energy, Q1, the analysts start asking energy. Then Q2, they start talking about Tesla's an AI company. The more Elon talks about it, the more that they kind of finally seeps into them. So you're right. I don't think anything's going to happen on Monday. I think this is still kind of like you call it, a demonstration. But they got to keep doing this. What do you think, Xander?
I slightly disagree in that I think they're the smart, the people that are paying attention to the breadcrumbs, they will react to this. If you understand what it means to be 99% AI written, you should be not financial advice, realize what this means. And those really smart people that are waiting for the breakthrough, they'll start buying. Will it make a $30 difference? Which, if you do the math on what that means in billions, that's a lot of money. I don't think it'll be that much, but I think, that's more than a 10% move. Do we get a more than a 10% move? No. But I won't be surprised if it's a green day. And like I said, I'm glad I'm not selling calls here. I'm very worried that we have a big announcement, and this is where I stop picking up pennies in front of the steamroller.
Well, let me kind of just ask a contrarian kind of question, right? So we saw him drive FSD around Palo Alto. It had one intervention. Now this was version 12. We've been seeing many, many videos from many people like Omar, who's been doing one after another of no intervention drives everywhere. So the difference is that this is Elon doing it, and he live streamed it. And it looked very, very good. But what do you think is was there something of revelation here? It's version 12, and we've already explained that version 12 is a AI written code. It's very much written differently. But what do you guys think?
I have an interesting one for you. We don't know who the viewers were. There's upwards of 30,000 viewers. So was Jim Farley watching this? Was Mary Barr? I know you referred to Mary Barr earlier, Herbert. Was she watching? Was the CEO of Stellantis, was he watching? What decisions are they making? What are the unit economics around their decision? What's this investment in Cruise? It's losing over $1 billion in a half a year. Ford deprecated Argo AI, and they're advancing this, ADAS solution that they're kind of doing homegrown. Who knows where that's at? So it's interesting. Like, did this accelerate the partnership conversation? Whoever Tesla's in negotiations with, right? The one partner they referred to that they're in negotiations to license FSD, did this live stream just accelerate it? Did this just improve the terms for Tesla? Did this just interest another party that may have been considering to do it, and just basically said, look, we've got to go do this? You may have the boards of some of these companies getting together either this weekend or Monday and discussing what their next steps really are here, because Tesla just showed that demo was pretty compelling, and they have to look internally and say, what do we have? Like, what do we really have? What are the economics of what we're doing? when will it scale? How will it scale? And really have to ask themselves. So I think there's a number of things that could have just been triggered from this live stream.
What did you think about the comment that there are Tesla? What Elon said at the last earnings call, we are already in early discussions with a large OEM for licensing FSD. So I don't know if a drive like this is going to change any of their minds. They kind of understood it already. I think if anything, this drive like this will change retail investors or retail consumers going, because most people do. Just like most people do not watch Omar's videos, but many people will watch Elon's drive.
Exactly. Why are you assuming that anyone from Ford or GM or anyone else has seen that what 12 is capable of?
No, right. They don't know what 12 is capable of. Correct. I agree with that.
Yeah, no, I do think that, again, from being in this environment, in a corporate environment, we're always looking at the competition. We're always looking at partners. What are they doing? How can they help us be better? So I'm sure the text messages are flying back and forth now. I'm sure there's board meetings being set up or meetings being set up to discuss, if there's already partnership discussions, how do we accelerate it? Or should we have this conversation, with Tesla now? And again, of course they're having other conversations, but I don't think that, I think these things are meaningful. I agree. It'll catch someone's eye, a decision maker's eye in these companies that may not have seen it.
Yeah, boomer funds don't know about Omar. This institutional funds run by boomers. That's true. They don't know about Omar, but they'll know about Elon. They'll watch his video and they'll go, "What the fuck? This car just drove. I gotta delete all this stuff, man."
Bleep.
Herbert,
you need the Stephen Mark Ryan bleep.
I've gone wild.
Herbert, we're gonna write the bylines for this video. You're dropping F-bombs. You're talking about the genitalia of other automaker CEOs.
No, we're not.
Where's this going?
Is this
Herbert After Dark?
Stop it. It's not what happened, guys. Let's keep it straight. So, okay, FSD is going to be licensed, guys. FSD looks like it's working, guys. Where's the? What are we afraid of? I mean, I know some people are going, "Oh, it's not going to be years from now." There's millions of March of 9s. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say. I underestimated the impact of this drive. We were in our chat earlier. I'm like, who cares? Like, we're already seeing zero intervention drives, but it was more the commentary and more of the how of like, how did this release come together? What does V12 mean? Yeah. V12 is AI.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that, so that to me
buzzword
is the key takeaway.
Yeah. This guy's asking, how does it work through a construction zone? In the actual drive, there were cones. Now, it wasn't like this, construction gate or anything like that, but there was cones, and I was like getting afraid when I saw that, but it still figured that out and did okay.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's okay. I think this is bigger than than what people realize, because it's written by a machine. Think about this. I've been saying it. Can you imagine that moment when a computer beat a human for chess or for Go, and you watch that movie, about the human Go player and how defeated they were. This is the moment where you're witnessing like the best iteration of what Tesla's been up to, and no one has seen it until right now. And now that we know that it's written mostly by a computer, that's fascinating. And I think that is what the market, that the wise ones will pick up on, and
that's a good point.
Act accordingly.
There's a huge desire, and the narrative right now is AI boom, AI boom, AI boom, and then everybody goes, Tesla is an AI company, but nobody really sees it, right? This is how they show it. If they can say, like you just said, Elon Musk drove or had his car drive himself, Elon Musk's Tesla's AI drove Elon around. If they can say it properly, I can't even say it myself. that's going to be a one step forward for everybody who's so, looking for an AI company to realize Tesla is not only an AI company, it's the best AI company in the world. Oh, the other thing I should mention is that at the space that we were at before he did the live stream, Elon said that they're spending $2 billion every year on Dojo. These is the supercomputers. They're buying up as much computers, chips they can, GPUs. And he said that it's actually not a GPU, but it's not graphics, but $2 billion. Didn't he say that? And that he said they'll spend even more next year. So
yeah, I'm
really
just doing
ramping.
the math. Just doing the math. They're bringing up a 10,000 unit cluster, and what are they? 35,000 each. So that's a lot of money.
Go do the math. What is the math? Go on.
Well, I have an ad coming up on my calculator on my iPad, but
What?
is that $3.5 billion?
That's trillion. No.
Yeah. It's a.
We need a,
I mean,
we need a
that's amazing.
Patreon for
What?
Jeff's calculator immediately.
No, but the point is that very few companies can afford has this kind of money, billions upon billions and billions of dollars to buy as many GPUs and to have these supercomputers. And the more computer that you have, the compute, it's all. He said this many times, is compute constrained, and so to
right.
hit the March of Nines, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's focus in on that.
I like this comment. Wait, whoosh, nothing but nets. That's great. So smart.
That's nerd humor right
$350
there.
million cluster coming up. So that was
nice.
over a third of $1 billion cluster. That was just coming up.
No big deal. No big deal. That's not even $1 billion. Who cares?
So people ask, like, what's going on? Why is Tesla? Where's Tesla's operating profit going to? Well, you just saw part of it,
right? When you and I just showed a table in one of our videos, which said that the operating margin for Tesla is actually not the number one car company. It's down below. But then you pointed out, well, show me another car company that's spending billions of dollars on AI and supercomputers, on robots, on energy. That's why their operating margin is not as high. If they didn't do all that, it'd be like 40% or higher probably.
Yeah. So Tesla needs to get their own chip going and get it out to fab. I get the D1 chip and just get out of this loop where they're dependent on NVIDIA and TSMC.
I think I'm going to change my mind. Initially, I thought this is not going to move the markets at all this week. It might. I think that this, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be mainstream media writing about this. They just can't help themselves. Anything about Elon, they'll get their clicks, they'll get their ads. Now,
yeah, I see Adam Jones capitalizing on this.
Yeah, and then I think that the narrative of Tesla's an AI company, there might be more investors, retail investors. Yeah. And like you said, boomer institutionals who have no idea this is happening.
Not to be confused with the boomer mama. who knows everything. Who knows everything all the time. Omnipotent.
Well, what I like about her, she's always ahead and she makes change to the company. She's really pretty impressive. So this whole thing, okay, so like, oh my gosh. So Ashok being in the car with him, why do you think that that he deserves it? It's his baby, he built it. But why do you think he did it with Ashok as opposed to, I don't know, another person?
Well, he runs the autopilot. He runs the program for Tesla, so he's the right person, and for that. And like I said, I was joking that was Ashok's performance review,
Right.
Which is quite frankly how I would do it. I mean, I would just say, "All right, what have you been working on? Show me." He was like, "He did." Here's a car that's driven by AI. Here you go, boss. Let's see how it goes. It was amazing.
Is there a 10.3? There's 10B3, whatever the plan's called, coming on Monday.
Well,
Right.
he's not a named executive, which is surprising. But I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't get changed very soon.
You think so?
And yeah,
because he's not the same people as running the AI. Like, so I think for folks don't know, but Tesla's an AI company. They've got the fifth largest supercomputer in the world. They're investing a huge amount of money. There's going to be 20 times bigger than the largest computer in the world by the end of next year. But then he was trying to create an AI division in Tesla that's going to compete with ChatGPT. But then he was trying to recruit these people, and they didn't want to join a large company. They wanted to start a new company. And so he had to start X.AI. That was his reasoning why he had to start a separate company. So a lot of the smartest AI people are joining the XAI division. Now, he did say that the two entities will work very closely together, that Tesla is going to be a big part of supporting, that they're going to use Tesla supercomputer and all this. But you know what I mean? Like, so he's in charge of the autopilot or the FSD, but he's not necessarily in charge of the entire AI effort.
Yeah, but I mean, I think what they've been able to produce is worthy of, I mean, he reports directly to Elon too. So to me, anyway, we're not doing his performance review here, but he looks like he's pretty deserving of an expanded role. I think I have a challenge for Herbert, for you and the viewer and some of the viewers and, you know, people like Farzad. I think we need to get some sort of supercut of this drive out there. I don't know who are the best video editors in the Tesla Twitter community, because I can tell you right now that 5-second intervention at that light, someone's making a cut of that right now. Dan O'Dowd's probably making a cut of it, and that's going to be, you know, he'll buy ads on X and have that all over the place.
I don't think so, Jeff. No, that one intervention was so non-eventful. The light turned green and it drove forward, and and it didn't even drive forward because they intervened before it even moved. Did you see the car move?
Oh, we're talking Monday. Well, I'll bet you that he puts that video out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
Is that a coffee bet? I hear a coffee bet.
Now, Herbert and I do real bets. Hope Yaman's listening to this. Herbert sends real money around.
I said real money around.
No fake coffee. Yaman, if you're listening.
He does listen. Oh, God.
He does.
Yeah.
He's probably on this right now.
Wait. Why does this person think I'm doing clickbait? Is this Herbert doing clickbait again? Chris, I think you might have missed it, but Elon Musk, we actually live stream his live stream on the screen here for the last 40 minutes, and he did one intervention FSD drive. So, no, he actually did it. Elon was on the stream, and go watch the repeat.
It's like Bucket.
I don't do clickbait
with me. No.
What's that? Bucket wants to bet with you?
Yep, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. I've not lost many bets, so I might sound like I'm not as rational as you, Jeff. But
I put myself in the mind of Dan O'Dowd, and it's not a very large place. It's not very expensive. Yeah. But I'm in there.
A lot of wind?
I believe he's going to make a video of this, and he's going to put that out there.
I
so
agree.
I think we need to get the other 39 minutes of the video.
I just don't think he's going to spend millions of dollars to advertise that when it's pretty weak. That's a weak one.
The guy that's doing cardboard cutouts of kids and throwing them in front of cars isn't going to and spending 10 million.
What I'm saying to you is I honestly think that this live stream by Elon was a 99% success.
Oh, yeah.
Almost 100% success.
Of course. Yes.
It's hard to twist anything that happened. Even that one intervention was pretty weak. That's what I'm saying.
Yep. Well, good.
I mean,
exciting.
I'm very, very happy. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. That was fun. Appreciate everybody joining the live stream. Thanks, guys. See you guys soon.
Later, gents.
Bye.